Hello friends, welcome into my home and into my kitchen here at All Things Kitchen. My name is Jennifer and today we are going to be making some Outback Copycat recipe of Outback Steakhouse bread. Now this is a new recipe for me, but I am so excited about this. It's another one I've been thinking about, and I think you might be surprised about the ingredients if you've never looked it up before. So I'm going to get all my ingredients together, get started, and I'm actually going to be making this in the bread machine, and the recipe is not listed as a bread machine recipe, but we're going to give it a try that way and make up some different rolls. I'm going to cook them a little bit differently, make different sizes, see if I can maybe make some rolls, some bread, and I have a new pan that I'm going to try to make a little mini loaves out of. So I'm going to bring you along this journey with me, and I hope you'll stick around and see the end results. I'll be right back while I get all my ingredients together. The first ingredients, and remember, like I said, I am halving this, and I am doing 300 grams of warm water, and that is 1¼ cup of warm water, 1/8 of a cup of avocado oil, which is 2 tablespoons, and I'm doing my oil first because I have to measure out some honey and molasses, and that will help that not stick into my spoon. I need, if I can get it open, 1 tablespoon of molasses. Yes, this bread has molasses in it. So I'll just put that in there and see how nice and clean that comes out when you put oil on there like that. So 1/4 of a cup of honey. And I told you this was a sweet bread. Let me double check. Yep. I was making sure that was half and not the whole recipe, which it is. I need to clean off my jars of honey and molasses before I put the lid on. I'll be right back. To this, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then hold on to your pants. If you've never seen this recipe before, I am now adding in 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. Yes, that's cocoa powder. So Outback Steakhouse is basically chocolate bread. That's why it's so delicious. This is 210 grams of whole wheat flour. The next ingredient is bread flour, and the full recipe calls for 2 to 3 cups, so I would be using 1 to 1½ cups. So I'm going to go ahead and start with about 160 grams of bread flour. Oh my God, that just went everywhere. So I have here my 160 grams of bread flour. And I will watch it as it mixes to see if it needs more flour. So on top of here, I'm just going to make a little well for my yeast. And I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of yeast. A tablespoon. That's what it says. That's what it says. All right. So that's water, oil, honey, molasses, 2 different types of flour, cocoa powder, salt, and yeast. We are all set. Let's close the lid. Okay, friends, this was a half batch, and as you can see, it's filled my my bread machine. So I know, and so you know as well, if you go to make a full batch, it's going to be a lot of bread. So I don't remember. Let me see. Actually, the recipe that I followed, I believe she made 2 like almost regular size loaves of bread out of this. It says 24 servings. Yeah, the recipe that I'm following, she cut the final dough in half and then made 2 loaves out of that. Well, I don't want big, huge loaves like that. I want Outback bread or mini loaves. So I'm just going to kind of punch this down a little bit. It is a little sticky, so I'm also going to grab some flour. So I grabbed a little bit of flour to put down here on my countertop, and I'm going to bring you down and we're going to play with it and make different shapes and go from there. We're just having fun today. So that is pretty sticky. And I'm just putting it out here on a Silpat. And I'm gonna, looks like the cocoa powder didn't get distributed quite as well with that. Let me see what I can do here. So I may use flour or oil or a combination. Well, I'm already using flour, but I may use some oil as well. I just kind of want to get to be able to maneuver this a little bit. So let me knead this flour into this. Ooh, sticky. Look at that. Now, I don't generally knead by hand because of previous neck surgery that I've had, and I don't ever want to aggravate my neck, and this uses a lot of shoulder and arm strength, which all connects to the neck. So we're not going to comment on my kneading styles because I just try to avoid doing that. I just want to get rid of most of the stickiness, or at least make it so I can use it a little bit. So I'm going to go wash my hands really quickly, and then I'll probably switch to oil. But let me get this dough off of my hands. It's crazy. I have a scale here because I am going to, I have this new pan. And when I bought it, I had put it in my Amazon cart, and my husband actually finished the process for me. I was thinking this was more like a mini loaf pan. It's a little bit smaller than I was thinking as far as like loaves of bread. This will work excellent for other ideas, but I am going to adapt this, and I'm going to not adapt it, but I'm going to use it and make little mini loaves with that. So whoops, just trying to get on. I want to do, let's see, let's try that. Let's try 2.5 might be too big because this is small. And I am going to put some oil down here, and I'll put some oil on my hands. And we will play with this and see what we can do. I also need to oil my pan, so I'm going to do that off camera here. Get this ready for... So I'm kind of looking at the dimension of that pan, and I'm just going to roll this up to little mini loaves here. Pinch this together. And put that in the loaf like that. So I'm going to do a few of those. And I'm measuring off to the side here. Again, I think that 2.5 ounces was a good size for that. Come on. Okay. And just going to kind of gather it all together first. Sticky. Using the oil generally works better for me than flour. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's what works for me. So roll this up into a little mini loaf. Pinch the ends. Set that over here. So I'm also going to, I think, do the regular size. I'm going to guesstimate that that's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 ounces. Maybe I'll do 4.5 on that. There's 4.4. Oh, this is sticky. It's sticking to my parchment. I could attempt to use a rolling pin, but I'm just sure that a rolling pin is definitely going to stick. Okay. Need some more oil here. So I'm just kind of basing this off of this size here about what I do for hot dog buns. And that's not very smooth looking, so I'm not sure how these are going to turn out. I thought I'd also try, I was thinking of, for the holidays, maybe seeing what this would look and taste like as a roll. So as you can see, I'm using several different techniques here, several different shapes, and just to kind of see what we can do. Because, I mean, as far as the recipe goes, if, you know, it's supposed to be copycat recipe, and it's of a flavor that I know I already like. So let's see how this turns out and see what, if we can just play with this and make different sizes, different shapes. So this is what I have. I have 2 little mini loaves, 4 rolls of different sizes, and then 5 of these little mini loaves in the pan. And so we'll see. So from here, we're supposed to let the dough rise between 30 to 60 minutes for it to double in size. Since I kind of have all different sizes, they're only within about an ounce or 2 difference between the smallest and the biggest. So it's not that big of a difference, but I'm going to give these time to rise, and then we'll stick them in the oven. And I think it needs to bake, let me see here, at 350. It says 30 to 40 minutes, but again, that was a big loaf that the recipe called for. So these are probably going to cook probably 10 to 12 minutes, maybe 15. I'll take their internal temperature, and once it hits 200, then I know they're done. So I'm going to get these to rising. I'm going to get them covered, and I can't wait to see how they turn out. I'll bring you back when they're all done. I just got the bread out of the oven, and let me show you. These are so stinking cute. Look at these. So stinking cute. I'm going to have so much fun with that pan. I was thinking I could do like cornbread in there and little mini size like cakes. I was thinking about seeing if I could find a copycat recipe for Little Debbie's. It's one of my guilty pleasures is Little Debbie like zebra cakes. And if I can make those, then I could just take something like this size, cut it in half, and make 2 little mini Debbie cakes. But that's a different day. This pan worked out really well, and they're so pretty. The freeform ones are not as pretty. Let's take a look. They're very rustic looking. We'll say that. But everything's going to taste delicious. I just know it. I just know it. And of course, you never want to cut into bread when it's warm, right? You want to wait. But when you have something like this size, you can, because you're going to eat it all right now. I'm looking for my bread knife, and it's right here in front of me. So I'm going to go ahead and take a slice of this off this little, look at that. Look at that. And I'll get another slice for my husband so he can try it as well. And then I'm also going to grab, oh, that's hot. Let me get these off this tray. 1 second. It's warm in here. And put a little butter. Maybe a delivery man at my door. Put a little butter on a piece for my husband. Let me give this a try. Wow. Chocolate bread. Who knew? That is delicious. That is delicious. And I made it in the bread machine, which made it even easier. I couldn't have asked for that to turn out any better. I'm going to cut this roll in half real quick. It's very hot in my kitchen. I'm sorry. That's the roll. I didn't put any cornmeal on this one. Let's try this one plain. Aha. Go ahead and put the butter on it. Put butter on hot bread. How can you not? Oh. That's delicious. And I would love to eat more, and I'm going to since I turned off the camera. I think probably the pan that I have is better than the roll for me. If I didn't have that pan, the roll would be great, but I have that pan and they come out looking so much better. Not that there's anything wrong with this. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The one with the cornmeal on top, again, nothing wrong with that. But the ones that come out of the pan are so pretty and so stinking cute. Yeah, I'll probably stick with the pan. And I think that'll be great for the holidays. Making that for the holidays. Maybe just as something different than a typical dinner roll. I think that'll be great because who doesn't love this bread? I thank you for coming along with me today as we tried yet again a new recipe and a copycat recipe. And I might try some more copycat recipes for you and see what we can find. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Put them down in the comments below and I'll give it a try and we'll do it together. Thank you for coming along. Like I said, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. And I'll see you next time. Take care.